We back. So we're going to address the obvious about the Decatur City Council meeting today, but at first I want you all to watch a few clips from me talking with McMasters and talking with Todd Pinion after the council meeting. For anyone who thinks I'm not scared to stand 10 toes against these men, I'm not scared to do that. I'm not scared to sit here and tell you the facts and watch you go blank in the face. So that's what the people are going to get to see now. The first video I'm going to show you is me having a conversation, me and Walter Orr having a conversation with McMasters about what he could do since Steve Perkins was murdered in his district. And you know, you see him make multiple excuses, and, you know, I'm asking him about evidence of if Steve Perkins did have a gun, that would be in evidence. Yes, ALEA would have got that, but Decatur City themselves would have had to put that into evidence. They're police officers. So, I was asking about where that is, where that evidence is. Do they actually have a firearm in evidence that was from Steve Perkins that had a mounted light on it? I mean, they haven't actually confirmed that with us or not. So that's what I was asking Masters about, and he was like, I don't know, you need to ask the DA. I said, why don't you? Because that's your job, not mine. You are the district councilman of District 5, where Steve Perkins was a resident, was a citizen of. You should be the one pushing for these answers and pushing for these answers to be given to the public as soon as possible that won't harm the court case coming up. There's no more investigations going on. It wouldn't harm the court cases coming up. And I don't think the public knowing that there's a firearm in evidence would harm upcoming court cases. But here's that clip now.
DA is working with, they all work together. They don't care about us.
It's a deep state conspiracy, Walter.
Yeah, I know.
But it's your job to tell them. It is.
Yeah, McMasters is able to pull their business license, but he ain't gonna do it.
You can talk to him better than we can.
He won't use his power because he don't want the backlash.
Tell me I'm wrong. What did he say about Decatur City itself? What did he say about Decatur City? What did he say about Decatur City itself?
Let me ask you a question, though.
Hopes that y'all would get change and actually do what you need to do.
Isn't that your district? McMasters. Even when Steve got murdered, ain't that your district? So that's your district, and you telling me there's nothing you can do and speak up on, and that's your district? Dude, you can actually speak up and have the damn tow truck driver's license pulled.
So there's me and Walt telling him, hey, you need to get answers about things because this happened in your district. Now Walt's talking about him pulling the tow truck driver's license, and I don't know about all that. I don't know if they can pull at least just all-star recoveries. But a little snippet of information I think is important for the public to know is that Richie Brady and Caleb Combs both have a court date through Morgan County Court in February in regards to stealing a race car and a trailer. Those are the two tow truck drivers allegedly involved with the Steve Perkins incident. And now they are being put to court for stealing vehicles. Come on, guys. I mean, really. Either way, this is us talking to McMasters, and this is his responses. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. When I'm telling him it would be better, and it would be a lot easier, if I call up the DA just as a regular concerned citizen, I'm barely going to get an answer. It's going to take days for me to get an answer. If I call up the DA as the District 5 City Councilman who has the constituent who just got tragically murdered there, and you are dealing with the case involved with it, I would probably get a response the same day, maybe even the same minute. So he's trying to act like he doesn't have that privilege. Stop acting like you don't have leadership privilege. You have that. That's why you're put in that position. Now, the next clip you're going to see is me arguing with Todd Pinion about a little piece of information that I like to call their student handbook. That came from ALEA, which is what is given to Decatur police officers when they train. And in here it talks about knock and talks. Knock and talks, according to the Supreme Court, Florida versus Jardines back in 2013, said that an officer not armed with a warrant may approach a home and knock precisely because that is no more than any private citizen might do. On top of that, it talks about entering their home because the officers entered Steve Perkins' home multiple times after they shot and killed him. And it says entering a home requires either consent exigent circumstances or a warrant. And you're not going to sit here and tell me that the exigent circumstance was that you just murdered this man in his own front yard and you didn't even have identification for him, because they didn't even know who Steve Perkins was when they shot and killed him. And I will back that up with fact, because this is exactly what I said to Todd Pinion, and this is why I'll show you this clip. Because watch his face and watch his response. I didn't shoot anybody. You're the leader. You're the chain of command, mister. You trained this officer. He was acting under your behalf. So, try again. Watch this clip.
The citizens ain't gonna forget it. They ain't gonna forget what you're doing up here. They're never gonna forget what you're doing. And tell you, God's vengeance.
Your officers set themselves up outside Steve's house under your leadership, because you are their chief. Whether you are awake, asleep, doesn't matter. Lieutenant Lindley has also not been touched, and he was the one on staff. So let's get back to this. This is entrapment. You know that, right? When they lure him out of his home in order to try
That
to
is entrapment.
circumstances to search his home. To search his home. In the appeal hearing?
No.
And the one murder trial that we have for one officer, there's 2 other tow truck drivers, 3 other officers involved, and a lieutenant that you haven't fired.
I didn't have anything to do with the stuff out there as far as charges.
No, you have what to do here, which took you way too long to do anyway, so you still haven't punished Lindley. Where is Lindley? And you still haven't went and fought and done an investigation against these tow truck drivers. That is your discretion. It happened in Decatur. This tow truck driver could have made a false report because you have no evidence otherwise. This tow truck driver did not give a tow report because you had to identify Steve Perkins later on. You didn't know who you were shooting at when you shot him, did you?
That I did, which I didn't. I didn't shoot.
Your police officers did. That includes you. You are their chain of command.
They don't care.
What a
They don't care.
round and round we go.
Don't worry.
Hot potato. So round and round I had to go with Todd Pinion about the fact that they literally entrapped Steve Perkins, murdered him in his own front yard, ambushed him, and used that as exigent circumstance in order to search his home. And that is not exigent circumstance. That is not, because they were not supposed to be there in the first place. They also let the tow truck driver leave with the truck, which was evidence that before the ambulance even arrived, okay, y'all? Before the ambulance even got there, for a man that is dying in his own front yard due to 7 gunshot wounds, the tow truck driver got to leave before the ambulance got there. You can see in the video they're picking up shells. There's just too much. There's too much. Too much. Now we can discuss the elephant in the room, quite literally. This two-faced lying mother... This dude right here, his name is Hunter Pepper. He is the council districtman for District 4, which is my district. Me and him set up a meeting back in December talking with Legal, who is Herman, who produced a parade ordinance for them today. I'll give him a round of applause that he actually took some outlines and stitched them together. Good job, Herman. I'm so proud. Anyways, he is the one who helped set up the meeting to originally amend the parade ordinance. And today, January 22nd, he decided to not immediately consider the amended parade ordinance, when he's the one who started this back in December with me. Me and him had a meeting, and I can confirm that. And also in this meeting, he had even explained that we should look at Florence's parade ordinance, which is literally pretty much the same thing what Decatur City got produced today, was Florence's parade ordinance for them to amend and make it to where it does not include protests. He is the only one who voted against it. So that's why he posted that little model shot. Can't wait for the council meeting, because he is still just trying to be this same person right here. This is how serious he is. This is how serious we can take him. And this is also how serious we can take the people who support him, and the people who stand behind him, and the fake accounts and everything that are associated with him. This is how serious. I want everyone to take a good look. This is how serious Decatur City councilmen are. Ta-da! Well, another council meeting where many facts came out, many great questions came out, and yet again, not a single Mac supporter came out. Wow! Crazy. Justice for Steve Perkins, justice for Jaden Desjardins, and justice for Decatur. I'm done playing these games with y'all. I'm bringing the heat, and I'm bringing it hard. We've got all the facts. It's time. We're done.